Welcome back to the Vegan Test Kitchen, everyone. We are not finished with fall in this kitchen. We are making a pumpkin ziti with caramelized onions and a sage crumb topping. Can't wait. And we're also making a cashew ricotta to go into that. That sounds delicious. All the ingredients that you need are listed below. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is start on our sage breadcrumb topping. So grab a baguette. You're gonna need 2.5 cups of ground coarse breadcrumbs. They said half of a baguette. That's what I'm gonna start with, so we'll see what that gets us. I'd say that's pretty coarse. Alright, we're gonna set this off to the side because we're gonna finish the breadcrumb topping right before we put it in the oven. Now is the perfect time to start on our cashew ricotta. We're gonna put 1/2 cup of raw cashews into a food processor. We're gonna grind it a little bit till it gets kind of coarse. You're gonna need 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. 1 large lemon should do the trick. Olive oil. And 2 garlic cloves. Blend it until a thick creamy paste forms. And once you have that, you're gonna add a pound of firm tofu, crumbled up. And you wanna make sure to rinse this off and drain it as much as possible. Then blend. Once it's well blended, add your basil and your salt. And then we're gonna set this off to the side and start on our pumpkin ziti. Fun fact, there are more than 900 species of sage around the world. Sage has anti-inflammatory properties, and that's why ancient Romans used it for sore throat, snake bites, and as a memory enhancer. Meanwhile, 19th century Americans rubbed it on their teeth to make them whiter. Grab your box of ziti and start cooking. You only need 3/4 pound. While your water's boiling, start chopping 2 onions. You want to slice these very thinly. While this is boiling, grab a skillet. We're going to start sauteing our onions. Throw in your olive oil. And you're gonna wanna saute these onions for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're nice and caramelized and browned in some spots. You know how to do it. Our ziti is done, so we're gonna drain it, rinse it in cold water, and just set it aside. The walnuts that you're using for your sage breadcrumb topping, you want them to be in coarse crumbs. These are almost where we need them, so grab a large bowl. You're gonna put in your cashew ricotta. We're gonna fold in our pumpkin puree. You can either do it the hard way, which is, grabbing a pumpkin or 2, scooping it out. You need 2 cups, or go the route of the can. Make sure that you get the pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mix, because you don't want it tasting like a pumpkin pie. We're gonna put in our vegetable broth. And our brown sugar, nutmeg, white pepper, and cayenne. Come on, brown sugar. There we go. Now you're gonna fold all of this together. And now we're gonna stir in our ziti and our nice caramelized onions. All right. Grab a 9x11 baking dish, and we're gonna lightly coat this with a bit of olive oil, and we're going to put in our ziti mixture. Spread it out like so. And now we're gonna finish our breadcrumb topping. So grab your vegan butter, use the same skillet that you were caramelizing your onions in, stir in your breadcrumbs, walnuts, our herbs, and we're gonna stir this until it's lightly coated, and then we're gonna season it with a bit of salt. You wanna make sure to stir this constantly because you don't want it to burn. You want to make sure everything's coated, about 3 to 4 minutes. That sage just really comes through. Reminds me of stuffing. And we're gonna sprinkle it on this beautiful thing. All right, this looks beautiful. It already smells beautiful. Let's stick it in the oven. For 28 to 30 minutes. 28 minutes has passed, let's check it out. All right, so we want the top of it to be a nice golden brown, and it's hard to tell because there's too much topping on it, so. Let's leave it in there for another 3 to 4 minutes. Time is up. Let's take it out. Oh yeah, smells delicious. And the worst part is we have to let it cool for 10 minutes. Let's try it. It's a nice creamy casserole. The onions add a really nice sweetness to it. I was a little hesitant about putting pumpkin in a savory dish like this, but it's delicious. It's not, you know, it just gives you a little taste of pumpkin. And it works really well with everything else. The topping is crunchy and delicious. Even if you're not a big pumpkin person, try this. You might like it. So part of the recipe has you putting in white pepper and cayenne. It doesn't tell you how much, so I put in like, you know, a little sprinkle of each. I would probably put in a little bit more of both. Maybe definitely the cayenne if you want a little bit, just a little bit of a bite to it, but you don't need to. It's delicious as it is. I would make this again. In fact, I think this would make a great addition to the Thanksgiving table. It's kind of just fall all rolled up in one. I'm a fan. This was delicious. I hope it looks delicious to you. If you liked what you saw, hit a thumbs up. I would love you for it. Make sure to subscribe and comment and share and all that good stuff. I will see you all next time. And we're gonna sprinkle it on this beautiful thing.